Alexandra Dutton was born on April Fool's Day.
Alex?
As Yellowstone fans, I think we can all agree that the mystery surrounding the Dutton family tree is one of the most intriguing elements of this universe. To the point that I can imagine all of you guys screaming at your screens at the end OG 1923 finale, demanding concrete answers for who the hell John Dutton's father is, instead of creating more mysteries. And yet, as we all know, Taylor Sheridan loves to make us crawl for a couple of years before revealing even a tiny part of this complicated family history. Thankfully, though, the knowledge we currently have alone is enough to concretely point at who is whom, and who gets to be the grandfather of John. Is it Jack or Spencer? So, let's talk about it. And before we begin, don't worry, I'll give you a detailed and updated Dutton family tree in the video later on. Now, starting from the juicy part, as you all know, in the 1923 finale, Alex revealed her intentions to name her son John after Spencer's late brother. Well, we know that our John Dutton's father's name was also John. So clearly Spencer's firstborn son is the father to our John, right? Well, yeah, maybe, but I'm afraid the answer is not that simply. Unfortunately, the show's creators have kept things deliberately vague, leaving us with little more than speculation. Even Julia Schlepfer, who plays Alex, mentioned in interviews that while she personally believes her character could be John Dutton's grandmother, nothing is confirmed yet. She said, "We don't fully know until Taylor Sheridan writes the next 50 installments. I mean, if even the actor who plays the part is clueless about it, how can we be certain that this John is actually that John? Plus, the baby is born prematurely when he was just 6 months old, meaning that there is a very low chance that he would actually live." However, Spencer's lineage becomes even more complicated when we add to the mix the second son he had with a widow, a character briefly mentioned but not fully explored in the series. I mean, yes, we know that he never married the widow, making the child illegitimate, but this does not necessarily mean that he did not adopt the boy at all. So, there is still a chance that this second child is also a Dutton, and he is the one who fathered John in the end. There are also rumors that the widow in question will be none other than Tiana herself, which is crazy. But hear me out. Technically, Tiana is also a widow. Also, her path DI'd crossed with Spencer once, though they never interacted. Still, this might lead to a beautiful love story one day. Also, we know that Tiana has to end up in Montana one day, making this even more of a possibility. Last but not least, Elsa's voiceover in the end felt very intentional, as he basically highlighted the fact that Spencer has never married the so-called widow. Now, this did not sit right with many of us. After all, Spencer is a noble man that would never do someone dirty, especially if that someone carried his child. So there must be a reason behind why he did not marry her. And perhaps that reason was the laws and societal pressures that did not allow a white man to marry a Native American woman. Even though it is still odd that Spencer obeyed such restrictions, it is nonetheless a valid reason that is likely to happen. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense that Beth Dutton is the grandchildren of someone like Tiana, because that rage cannot be explained in another way. But let me know what you think about it. Another important incident that happens in the 1923 finale is that Elizabeth leaves the ranch pregnant with Jack's child. While the finale doesn't provide any follow-up about this pregnancy, we are left to speculate on whether Elizabeth's baby will have any lasting impact on the Dutton timeline. And yes, even though the rumors suggest that Elizabeth's lineage will lead to yet another spin-off series, there is still a chance that the child she carries will return to Yellowstone one day to claim the ranch and the Dutton name, and Father John Dutton of Yellowstone, which makes this even more complicated. If you like this video so far, make sure to like and share it. Also, leave me a horse emoji below in the honor of the Dutton family. At the heart of all these questions is the Dutton family tree. The family's roots go deep, stretching all the way back to 1883, where we first meet James Dutton, the patriarch who establishes the family's legacy on the Montana ranch. James is married to Margaret, and the two form the first generation of the Duttons. They have 3 children, John Dutton Sr., Spencer, and Elsa. Elsa dies at a young age. John Dutton Sr. also dies in 1923 Season 1, which leaves us with Spencer Dutton. Spencer marries Alexandra, and these names all form the second generation of the Duttons. John Dutton Sr.'s son Jack and his wife Elizabeth are the 3rd generation. And then we reach the 4th generation where all things get complicated. On the one hand, Jack's son is the fourth generation, and it makes sense since Yellowstone confirms that John Dutton III is the fifth generation of the Duttons. And yet now, 1923 suggested that Spencer's son, who is technically the third generation, might also be the father to John. I know your minds are getting confused already, and trust me, you are not alone. But stay with me. John Dutton III has 4 children: Lee, Casey, Beth, and Jamie. Jamie is adopted, so he is out of the picture. But these are the 6th generation of the Duttons. The 7th generation is Casey's son, Tate, and he did not get to be the patriarch of the Dutton Ranch since it was transferred to the reservation. And this made complete sense because back in 1883, it was already prophesied by the Indian American tribe in Montana that the Duttons will lose the ranch by the time they reach their 7th generation. However, if Spencer's son is the father to John Dutton, this changes everything, because this would mean that the Duttons were not supposed to lose the ranch yet, because Tate wasn't actually the 7th generation. I swear, either Taylor Sheridan does not know how to count or something really bad will happen to Spencer's firstborn. But let me know, how do you think this confusion will be eliminated? For more weekly updates, discussions, and analysis on Yellowstone universe, make sure to like and follow. Meanwhile, the video on the screen might also interest you.